Welcome back to Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player, the weight loss champion, Redskins defensive end, Adam Carriker is with me.
Gia, the wait is over.
Former wrestling announcer, weight loss champion Chuck Carroll here. Be sure to give the show a follow at Fourth and Pain and join us each and every weekday, high noon, actually 1 o'clock now, fourthandpain.com. Adam, I'm very excited about our next interview. Very excited about this guest. This is a guy that I've been watching for many years, even on the independents. Please welcome Christopher Daniels to the show. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I want to ask you about both being weight loss champion. When you become a weight loss champion, do you change weight classes, or do you stay in the same weight class and just continue to lose the same weight? I'm a little unclear on this.
Well,
I'm I'm a weight loss amateur at best. I try to gain weight. I'm unclear about the weight classes and the whole game of it all. So please fill me in.
Well, yeah, man, I'll tell you what, I went through a number of weight classes. At my peak, I was, and I'm 5'6" on a good day.
He's 5'3".
Yeah, I'm 5'5", Dick.
Uh-huh.
At my heaviest, I was 420 pounds with a 66-inch waist, and so I lost 260. So I'm down around 160. So definitely dropped a few weight classes, I think.
I guess so. Well done, sir. Well done.
Well, thank you. You know, that's important. You know, just try to spread that out there and let people know that they can, in fact, do it. But that's a show for another day. I appreciate the kudos. But wanted to talk to you a little bit about Impact Wrestling. I know that the Bound for Glory series is coming up, and I believe you're going to be involved in it. And I think your tag partner, Kazarian, is also going to be involved in it.
Absolutely. There's 12 of us. The only two good ones are myself and Frankie. The rest of them are just other guys. I mean, you can just call them the other 10 if you want. But yeah, Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, the top two guys in the Bound for Glory series. And one of us is going to be wrestling at Bound for Glory for the World Heavyweight Championship. So there you have it.
Are you going to be
running out, boys?
Are you going to be focusing strictly on the Bound for Glory series, or are you still going to be doing the tag team thing with Kaz from time to time?
Well, we're multitaskers, so we'll be able to do both. We actually beat the World Tag Team Champions, Gunner and Storm. We also call them Cowboys and Vikings. We beat them to get qualified for the Bound for Glory series. So by beating them in a non-title match, we also made ourselves number one contenders to the tag title. I have no problem wearing the World Tag Team Championship as I walk to the ring to wrestle for the World Heavyweight title, and neither does Francois.
All right, well, that begs an obvious question. Mr. Francois and yourself, you face each other in the Bound for Glory series. What happens?
Well, we'll find out together. We have a plan, but we're not going to divvy that out on national television or national radio. So, I mean, you'll have to wait and watch and see. That's your best bet.
Is there any chance that should one of you walk away with the belt, you would be kind of co-champions just as you are tag team champions?
Again, that's part of our strategy, and I don't want to divulge that in public. You all have to watch and see. That's all I can tell you.
Speaking with Christopher Daniels here on Fourth and Pain, and recent addition to the Impact roster, MMA specialist and an actor, Quentin Rampage Jackson. What exactly is it that you're expecting to see out of this guy?
Well, I think Quentin is a great athlete, and I think that he's got a very good mentality of what professional wrestling is. He grew up as a fan, so I'm looking forward to he's going to find out how difficult it is to actually become a professional wrestler. But I think he's got the wherewithal, and he certainly has the drive to succeed. It's just a matter of how much can he actually dedicate when he's actually, still trying to do MMA and he still wants to do acting. It's a matter of priorities. Does he want professional wrestling to be his priority, or does he just want it to be sort of a hobby? I mean, if you're going to go into it with a 30%, delegation of your authority or your duties, I mean, you're not going to succeed. But if he comes into it with the same drive that he went into MMA, I'm sure that he could succeed. I mean, you come from, as a kid, loving it as a child, which he did, and he admittedly says so in his interviews. He watched you growing up, and I mean, that's where I came from. I was a kid growing up. I watched it. I fell in love with it, and then as an adult, I decided to go into it. And I went into it with every bit of my fiber, every bit of my being. And if he goes into it that same way, I'm sure that he could succeed. But I mean, that's going to be something. It's going to be a long-term project. It's not something you learn overnight. None of us did. And I'm sure that if he puts everything into it, I'm sure he can succeed. It's just a matter of what can he put into it.
We recently did a show where we took 8 wrestlers and broke it down. Who would win in a real-life fight? So you've got an MMA champion, you've got a gold medal winner. Take yourself and Francois out of this. Out of the TNA locker room, who would you say are the 3 or 4 toughest individuals to beat in a fight?
Ooh, well, Well, definitely Kurt Angle's up there just because he's a cyborg. I think it's scientifically proven that he's made of titanium and adamantium. I'd have to put Gunner up there as well. Gunner, former military, former and current World Tag Team Champion. So I definitely would pick him as one of the toughest guys in the locker room. Those are the top two off my head. Ken Anderson is tough as well, also former military. And he's been around the world, and he's definitely he knows his stuff in terms of not just wrestling but fighting overall.
Speaking with Christopher Daniels here on Fourth and Pain, talking about tough guys, but I actually want to turn to more the theatrical side of wrestling because, as I understand it, you were actually a theater major in college, and so I just want to get a critique. We just spoke about Rampage Jackson. I'm curious about what you thought of his performance in the A-Team.
I thought it was good. I really enjoyed the A-Team movie. I'm surprised it didn't get more play, but I really liked all four characters, all four of the actors that were involved. And, I would like there to be a sequel, but I guess that depends on Hollywood and their machinations, so it's up to them.
You being a theater major in college, and I'm going to assume you did a little bit in high school as well, you told us you're not a big football guy before the show. So my question is this, me being an NFL player, what are your impressions of NFL guys, and was there ever any conflict between the so-called jocks at your school and the people you ran with?
No, not really. I mean, I was actually a bit of an athlete as well. I did a little soccer, but I wasn't a football player. But yeah, I wasn't the guy that hung with just jocks or just the theater people. I sort of milled around with everybody. So I didn't have any problems. I can see, the stereotypes of the actors and the football players sort of getting into it, but I never had those problems.
And being the actor that you are, I mean, you've been pretty versatile in the ring. You've been the Fallen Angel. You dabbled with Curryman and Suicide. Do you really kind of enjoy getting an opportunity to stretch your acting muscle like that and play a number of different parts?
Well, the honest truth is that I'm just open for anything. I mean, I've been given different opportunities in my career, and I didn't go out seeking them. They were just sort of given to me or presented to me. And the trick as a professional wrestler is sort of to take what's given to you and make the most out of it. So I feel like as far as my versatility, I've proven that I can do a bunch of different things in a wrestling ring. And, playing these different characters, like you said, I feel like I've done a good job as to bringing all of those characters to life and making them entertaining over the course of my 20-year career.
You've been around a while now, and you've worked with quite a few guys. Out of all the guys you've worked in the ring with, who is your favorite guy to wrestle and or work with?
It's hard to delineate down to like one favorite. I've got a lot of favorites. I've been very fortunate to work guys like AJ and Samoa Joe. Those guys and I had very good chemistry. In my Ring of Honor days, I got the chance to work with Low Key and American Dragon. And, in the last 2 years when I was in Ring of Honor, I worked with guys like Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. So those guys definitely are up there. As far as tag teams go, now that I'm, firmly entrenched in a tag team with Frankie, we had the opportunity to work with the Motor City Machine Guns back in the day before Alex Shelley left TNA. So all those guys I feel like I've had like good chemistry with, good entertaining matches with. And I feel like if anybody, goes out of their way to try to seek those matches out, whether it's on YouTube or videotape or whatnot, they're going to enjoy what they see.
Christopher Daniels here on Fourth and Pain. Give him a follow on Twitter at FAC Daniels. And you just talked about the guys that you have worked with, but I'm curious, Christopher, who is the one guy that you have not had a chance to face off with in the ring that you really want to make sure that you get that match under your belt before you call it a career?
Wow, that's a tough question, man. I don't ever foresee myself getting an opportunity to work in the World Wrestling Entertainment in the future. So I guess any of those guys on that roster that I haven't already worked with, someone like Chris Jericho certainly stands out in my mind as someone that I would have liked to have worked with in my career. And who knows? I mean, maybe that chance will come in the future. But, as things set right now, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So, but definitely Jericho would probably be one of the tops. Watching his career as a fan and then as a wrestler, I've always enjoyed him as a character and as an athlete. I feel like he was one of the guys that was perfect in terms of blending his character and his athleticism into becoming like a fully rounded, a well-rounded entertainer and individual.
Final wrestling question from me before we give you an opportunity to turn the table and ask Adam anything under the sun. So definitely be thinking of a question there. But you just said that you didn't think that you would get an opportunity to ever work in the WWE. And I'm curious as to why that is when, we see guys on the current WWE roster that have really kind of gone on the same path as you have. Guys like Christopher Daniels, CM Punk, Antonio Cesaro, guys that have been in ROH. And I'm
We're
just
talking
a
to
little
Christopher Daniels, just so you know that. You listed him in that
Yeah,
list.
he knows. We'll listen to
giving him
I'm
crap.
sorry.
I'm giving him
Thank
crap.
you. You looked at me.
I'm here to
sorry.
help you.
Daniel Bryan, Claudio Castagnoli, guys like that, guys that have walked, that line, the similar line as you. I'm just curious, what do you think it is that's going to prevent you from working in Titan?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with my status with TNA. I mean, I had opportunities in the early 2000s to do dark matches. And I just think that they didn't see anything at that moment that they wanted to sink their teeth into as far as, like, a long-term project or anything like that. Could I have gone, like, in the last 5 years? Would it have been possible? Maybe, but, I mean, being contracted with TNA under that period of time sort of precluded that. So I think it's just a matter of timing and, their taste at the times when I was available. I guess I wasn't really what they were looking for in terms of a long-term project. So,
gotcha. Christopher Daniels here on Fourth and Pain. Definitely appreciate you answering that question. And the final question belongs to you. Anything under the sun that you want to ask Adam, the NFL player, now is your time. And I should tell you that he has been asked some of the most weird questions I have ever heard, right down to and including, can you give me $10,000? And how do you unclog a severely clogged toilet? So with that in mind, anything under the sun, now is your time.
Well, since I already know the answers to those two questions, I won't ask those.
Thank you.
But I will say this. Let me ask you, Adam, because you are a NFL player and a wrestling fan, do you ever foresee yourself, A, getting into wrestling, and B, like you were talking about earlier, the football players versus the actors, I suppose, do you see that there's a rivalry or any sort of, not hard feelings or anything like that, but what do you think the mentality is of most wrestlers from most football players and vice versa?
I believe everybody in the locker room knows we do this show, and a lot of guys that come on the show, they get a belt each week for the player of the game. I don't think there's any rivalry or anything like that. In fact, a lot of the guys in the NFL locker room are fans of wrestling, and especially back to the Attitude Era, back in the NWO days, WCW. So I don't see any sort of rivalry like that. As far as would I ever get into wrestling, I would love to. The caveat is this: I want to play football as long as I physically can. And a lot of people don't give you guys, you wrestlers, enough respect how tough wrestling is, how physical it is. And when I can't physically play football, I'm not stupid enough to think I can just walk into a wrestling ring and I'll be able to do that. So I'm going to exhaust my football career as long as I can, and then I'll probably watch you guys from the couch.
That makes perfect sense, man. That makes perfect sense.
There you go. Christopher Daniels on Fourth and Pain. Best of luck in the Bound for Glory series, and we look forward to seeing much more of you in the future.
Luck is for suckers in the French, so I don't need it, but thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I like that saying.
I do.
I'm going to steal that.
I can't even think of a better way to end this segment. This is Fourth and Pain. We'll be right back.